Take it the audio's working. Is the audio working on this one? Right. Well, I'm seeing an audio meter, so yes it is. Okay, let's have a look. Where were we at? Okay, got it there, Shrimp. You're going to find the SB7 tomorrow, so there'll be a stream on its way there, I assume. What have we got? I assume that's what you mean, you're going to do a stream. I think that's an excellent idea. Stick it out there. Get a microphone near the box or get it near your webcam and do that. Stream it, stream it, stream it. They could be weird, can't they, Spirit Box sessions? That's okay, Jill, if there's only me and you. That's not a problem. That's not a problem, is it? Bit of a grueler when you've done 5 hours. I can't remember what time my other one went out. Where will it be? No, it'll be in the other folder. But done one earlier, around about the 7 o'clock-ish mark, and it's now 1:30 in the morning, so that's what, 6 hours, 6.5 hours. So been a bit of a long one tonight. Bit of a long one, but enjoyable as always. Chatting to people about all things supernatural, paranormal, and putting the world to rights. So obviously enjoy doing a bit of that. Can't remember. No, I can't. That's the problem, Jill. Mine's going. It started about the 7 o'clock mark, I think, anyway. Started about the 7 o'clock mark. Okay, well, Shrimp didn't get back to me on that, but I assume he means that he's live streaming tomorrow, doing a Spirit Box session. So that should be fairly cool. Always interesting, depending on what you need to analyse it afterwards, I suppose. The thing with the SB7 as well is that the choppy train noise does people's heads in, doesn't it? I can only listen to it for so long myself before I start to get an headache. Yeah. But that should be cool. Hope you do that, Shrimp. Not sure what's going on for the rest of the weekend for me, though. And John's talking about a live stream. I think they're doing an invest tomorrow, and then Sunday something else is going on, so I may jib on that chat like I've been doing over the last couple of weeks. I might do a live stream in my own right. I've not decided yet. I've started to wing a couple of ideas together to do a few live streams anyway, which won't just all be like this. Thing is the camera's on the other computer, which is in a different part of the building, and I'm rocking a bit of a knee injury at the minute. And when I was doing the stream the other day when I was on camera, getting quite a bit of grief off the knee, so I couldn't sit still. I don't know what's going on. You wouldn't have a Spirit Box? No, well, a lot of people don't like Spirit Boxes. A lot of people don't think Spirit Boxes work or have any validation whatsoever. And then there's a big chunk of people that really like using Spirit Boxes. So I suppose it's half of one and half of another, really. Some of them are okay. They're nice collectible objects because they're related to the paranormal, and it don't take long to get a big chunk of them together either. But I know a few people who wouldn't have Spirit Boxes, just like some people won't have Ouija boards or things like that. Just don't like the idea of it being in their house and the energy that it might give off. But I don't mind. But yeah, we'll see. There's a dilapidated building just up the road that I've sort of got my eyes on. Apparently something happened there a few years ago. Yeah, maybe, Jill. Maybe. It's not done too badly, really. When I've done any kind of stream, even in the smallest sense, because a few people have started to come in now. I mean, at one stage earlier today there was 14, which isn't bad at all. Shows a bit of support, which obviously is appreciated. But yeah, advance warning is always a good idea. Do a bit of an advance warning and tell people what's going on. I have to pick my days carefully because I have other things going on aside from the paranormal. I might be writing music or actually rehearsing, recording in the studio, and I've actually been sort of coaxed by a friend into considering writing a book, which is in embryonic form now. I've started to do a little bit of messing about and preparing that to go out, so I've got a few ideas about how I want to go about doing it, so there's a chance that I might go ahead and do it. But when I set a day aside and then say, right, this is the night that I'm going to do this, then I'll put the word out. Put the word out amongst the people I know to spread the word, as it were. But yeah, like I was saying, there's a building just up the road, old dilapidated building that I've had my eye on, and it was it's supposed to have had quite a bit of farm. I've never been there. It got burnt out, but what it was beforehand is supposed to have had farm in it. It's an old care home. I forget what it was. It was a vicarage. That's it. It was a vicarage. And then moved on and got left abandoned, and then a section of it got burnt out, and then became a little bit too dodgy to go and walk around inside, so that might knock that on the head for a little bit. And then of course some contractors have come in and moved some of the debris, so now it's more accessible and less dangerous, so I might be considering that, and do a live stream from there maybe. I was asked to write a book. Cool, should have done it. It's not the first time it's come up in my life either that I've been, people have said, why don't you write a book about X, Y and Z, but I had more of an elbow in my rib about it recently. So that I might do. It's come at a weird time because of the creative process. Like I say, I'm getting ideas down to record an album, and there's more songs in the go. And every now and then I've got to put one thing down to do another, pick up the guitar and play the guitar for a little bit and get a few ideas, get the creative juices flowing, because it's always left up to me. I know that I can complain about that because nobody in the band follows me on it. They won't have a clue what I'm saying, so I can get away with that one. Well, that is what that's what I'm sort of considering doing, as well as bouncing ideas off other people as well, see what they think might be worth doing. I mean, when you're streaming about the paranormal, I suppose there is a certain amount of limitation about what you can do and what you can talk about for obvious reasons. But I don't think there's anything wrong in trying to be slightly different too. Excuse me. So I'm not going to go too far out of my way, but try and go down the road of having a little bit of a laugh doing it. Have a little bit of fun without it becoming farcical, and some comedic elements in it, maybe. Obviously, I've started to do some reviews on equipment, or my opinions about equipment, and whether it's useful and why it's useful on investigations and such. That kind of thing. Also, another one was to maybe get some kind of a chat going, or invite people in if they're interested that just come up in chat. Usually, and ask them about their experiences and talk about their experiences, so it becomes more of a communal thing. I think a lot of channels are trying to become more communal now, aren't they? And getting involved and stuff, which is a good thing. So maybe like chatting to the people in the chat, or even getting people in chat who are interested and getting them to stream and asking them about personal experiences, or I don't know, answering questions about my own experiences, something like that, just to mix it up a little bit. Just thought storming, really. Drink of water. But yeah, certainly. And another friend who's asked me to do something UFO related. Yeah, that's going to be a fairly difficult one, really. Again, I suppose that's going to be about talking about personal experience and past investigations, which might bore people, so maybe not. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. I think the spiritual and ghost side of the paranormal is bigger than the other elements, isn't it? So, yeah, we'll just see how that pans out. But certainly thinking about like asking people their opinions and what they want to do. Actually, I've got quite a few ideas about it, but there you go. Like I say, I'm sort of busy doing the band thing, and busy going on live streams with John and Lindsay and chatting about like certain things, and that's getting loads of inspiration from the people that are in the chat, and speak of the devil. Actually, there he is. Hello, John. Hope you're okay. Crown Point in Burnley, hotspot for UFOs. Yeah, they're all over the place, them things. There's a lot of hotspots around the UK, actually. And the Pennines is one of in the top 10 places in the world that you're likely to have a UFO sighting, or at least it was in the 90s and early 2000s. But you know, the thing about it is they're mainly lights in the sky, and just lights in the sky can be explained away as just lights in the sky, really, can't it? You're stuff in my face. I don't blame you at all, John. You know, it was a good long session. We had plenty of things covered. Just before coming on here and messing about with this test, the Anyone Out There test, which is no longer a test because I've started nagging people. I stuffed my face too, like chicken sandwich. Hello, Steve. How the devil are you? Good to see you there, mate. They're next to the Pennines. Yes, they are. I'm right at the foot of the Pennines. Actually, I'm in Tameside, so part of Greater Manchester, at the foot of the Pennines. Immediately behind my house is the start of the Pennine Hills. So there's been quite a few sightings around here, actually, of UFOs, as it happens. The plane's going into Manchester Airport above the reservoir, and the reservoir's directly behind my house, coming through the valley. And a Boeing well, it happened in the 80s as well, but in the 90s too. Saw a disc-type object hovering above the reservoir, like luminescent, glowing on its own with red and green lights that went around the rim. And the various theories as to why it was there, like aliens try to steal our water. How much store you can put in that, I don't know. Behind my house is Pendle Hill. I've been to Pendle Hill quite a few times, as it happens. Excellent investigation place, and I have to say that I went there before most haunted did, because they've certainly done a bit, didn't they, to help make it famous as a paranormal investigation spot. There's no doubt in that. But they all play the part of them paranormal groups, don't they? Yeah, it's where the witches were. Lots of other stuff's gone on as well at Pendle, Steve. Actually, loads of other things. Some kind of an hotspot for activity, you know. So a fair bit of stuff goes on there. Maybe you can get there, John, at one time. A bit of a drive out though, but worth going to if you can do it. There's the Pendle Witch trials and that. There's quite a lot of groups go there. But the activity is mainly based around the farm, allegedly. I don't really think there was anything going on whenever I went there. I think I've been there twice, and there wasn't a great deal going on. Okay, you've already been there. Right, there is nothing there. What do you mean as in activity? If you mean as in activity, Jill, then yeah, I know what you mean, because nothing happened when I were there. Well, I think the main witch that's supposed to be there, Steve, was it Old Mags or Mags or something she was known as? But we didn't get a lot, not a great deal at all. I mean, not even back in the day when everybody thought orbs was something to do with spirits, you know. But you know, if you like wandering around old places that have got a little bit of history, then it's worth going. Another good place would be Eyam in Derbyshire. Yeah, I mean, you can only go there so many times, though, can't you, John? Or you got to live there, really. I mean, it's just one of them things. We went there and nothing happened. We just didn't. It was, I don't know, flat, for want of a better word. I've said this in the past about certain locations. I think they can be seasonal, or you know, sometimes they blow hot and cold. And if the energy isn't right, there just isn't any activity because of it. Perhaps, I don't know. Just boring. There's no trees if you need a wee. Yeah, that's I can understand that being a problem for the females of an investigation team. Us men sort of do it anywhere we can get away with, I suppose. But I think that's a fair point. There is in the valley near Below Farm, though. Or there was, if that's even there anymore. Excuse me. But a good place to worth going is Eyam in Derbyshire, Plague Village. I suppose that's a little bit topical, what's going on at the minute as well. But yeah, Eyam, it cut itself off from the rest of the community when the plague was going through, so it sort of almost sacrificed themselves in a way to stop the spread of the plague. So they were doing social distancing like, 400 years before anybody else was. And it helped. It helped stop the spread of it. And they lost a few people because of it. But there's some like famous places there where there's activity. Montpesson's well. Catherine Montpesson, who was married to the vicar at the time, and I think that's a good idea, that Jill, start up a B&B for everyone. And she refused to isolate so that she could look after the victims of the plague at the time, which started at, well, they call them plague cottages now, using their imagination to name them. But they started at these cottages and come up in a box of cloves that a merchant was travelling up and down the country, brought them up from London, and he was staying with a family, Rileys. They lost a big number of theirs, and out just on the outskirts of the town, on the side of a hill, is a place called the Riley Graves. That's always a good place worth visiting as well, doing a spirit box session, maybe try to capture some EVPs. And in that location there's supposed to be a blue lady. I think nearly every location that you go to has got a lady, or hasn't it, of some description. But there's supposed to be a blue lady there. So you got Montpesson's well, which she set up so that people could, because it's on the outskirts of the town, they could visit it and leave money in the well, They thought that running water would clean the plague, so you wouldn't catch the plague. And leave food. People from the nearby villages and towns like Grindleford and Castleton and things like that would come in, but stay on the outskirts because obviously they didn't want to catch the plague, and they'd leave food for the villagers in Eyam at certain places, like I said, Mompesson's Well and the Vinegar Stones. The theory with the Vinegar Stones being they drilled holes into a giant rock, which was they'd then put vinegar inside it, and the people who brought them supplies could put coins inside these little holes with the vinegar in to pay for the food. And yep, see you later, Steve. The vinegar would clean the plague. They wouldn't catch the plague, so they could take the money. So you'd have the Vinegar Stones and the running water at Mompesson's Well were two spots where people would leave supplies from outside of the town for the people in the town, and where the people in the town would leave money. Bring out your dead was the cry, actually. Yeah, they'd carry them along on doors and boards, or wrap rope underneath their armpits to drag them through the streets. But that's a very interesting place to go overnight time, just in case you're interested, John. Don't know if you've been there, or anybody else who might be listening, but a couple of spots worth going to are the Riley Graves, Mompesson's Well, the Vinegar Stones, and the main church as well in Eyam itself. The play cottages really, obviously, are only open during the day, but certainly worth going to. Excuse me, I don't know how the L went off on that. But and Castleton as well. Yeah, that's worth going to. Winnett's Pass Cave is an interesting place to go to. Home of fairies and yet another spiritual entity that's a lady. So that's worth going to if you're in that area. But it's a famous place where you're at there, Jill. Lots of investigators go to that neck of the woods, don't they? So yeah, very famous. Like I said, made more famous by TV exposure, if you like. Most haunted, most daunted. They've done a few. First few seasons of theirs was pretty interesting. Just purely on an entertainment level. I thought they lost the way after a couple of seasons, really. Even just try to keep people interested, you know. Yeah, kind of lost the way, but a lot of them do, don't they? What's that? Don't go there about Faye. I don't know what that means, Joe. Okay. Yes, so thanks for popping in, Steve, and saying hello. No problem at all. Okay, well, when you're next on, say hello. No problem at all. Okay, I'm very protective of my witches. I'm sure everybody's protective of the area that they're in. I'm not protective. I think everybody deserves to have the knowledge. That's what I thought you meant, actually, when you put the Fae. I was just getting it confirmed. Yeah. There's a few areas around here what are allegedly supposed to have fairies. A few people talk of such in next to a brook in a Dingley Dell. Dingley Dell type area. Where was that Dingley Dell? That's off TV, isn't it, that? Where was it, the Dingley Dell? I've just made that up. Anyway. Thanks, John. I appreciate the fact that you're going, you're doing that. Should you ever make it up this way, there's a few places, that we can sort out should you get up this neck of the woods. If you want to go to the loo, Gillian, you go to the loo. I'm not going anywhere. Yeah, there's a few locations up in this neck of the woods. as I'm sure there is down there. They said the asylum, well, not just the asylum, there's also an hospital that just shut down, well, sort of an hospital, but it only shut down a couple of years ago, so relatively intact. I don't want to say the name of it, just in case. Yeah, there is though. You'd love it. You'd love it. Even the fish and chip shops are good up here. Not that I have anything like that, of course. Excuse me, but I won't say the name of the location just yet. Not until I've been there myself and checked it out, rather than any information leaking out and everybody else going, God, that sounded selfish, didn't it? But I suppose at a later date I'll say the name of the location. Where that'll be. Right, anyway. The original intention was just to stream and see how long before I got to drop out. I'm constantly moving stuff around to try and get the best signal that I can, so that I can get the camera up and running, and instead of just sticking pictures up, so I'm not just tied to the laptop in the corner. So test to make sure that everything's going out okay, and nothing's dropped out so far, and it's been going for what, nearly half an hour, so it's looking good. In any case, I don't think I'll be leaving this up because it doesn't make any sense. But cheers for that. Anyway, just shared it. Well, I appreciate that, John. Should have StreamYarded it, really, shouldn't I? And got your ass in it. got you in here and doing your bit. Yeah, with your deep, booming, brummy voice. I should imagine you're not really... hello, let's see. Hello, Lindsay. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just for the sake of shits and giggles. For the sake of chatting about anything and everything. I'm surprised you're not under the influence of like multiple painkillers anyway, John. And I take it you've just finished eating, Lindsay. You've just finished, like what, resupplying and recharging, as it were. For anybody that might watch this, look at the video that we've done earlier on Dark Phantom Paranormal, by the way. Yes. Yo! That's the one, innit? I don't actually know the name of what Sue or John are intending calling that one, so I can't really sort of like push it. Yeah, for tits. Nice. So you don't do the painkillers, you sit there in pain instead. Like a true warrior. Mac and cheese, absolutely cool. Yeah, see, that's it. Poor John sat there starving to death, Lindsay, and you've been like quaffing copious amounts of coffee and mac and cheese. He's feeling left out. He's feeling left out. What is the... It was just gross tin stuff. Do you know, sometimes tin stuff works though, doesn't it? Sometimes tin stuff's alright. You don't do painkillers either. That's everybody. We're in the company of warriors. Keeps the blood pumping. Yeah, I bet it does. When you've got like a shattered, what is it, your metatarsal? Your metatarsal in absolute atoms. I haven't made coffee yet. I'm surprised you're still awake. Well, yeah, I suppose it does make you at least feel like you're full of stuff. Absolutely prattling on before me as well, Lindsay, going on about locations nearby. Excuse me, that I was thinking of dragging John to, or what might be worth John going to. In Derbyshire. You see, you say Shire in the US. Over here, the Shire, Dark Phantom Paranormal. Hey, Sue. Fifth metacarpal. Might take a paracetamol and Tylenol over here, but nothing stronger. Yeah, over here we do the full works, man, you know. Well, hello again, Ali. Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, you say like we don't do shires really. For the most part over here in the UK, it's shires like Derbyshire, Lancashire, Cheshire, Leicestershire, Berkshire, Twatshire, that kind of thing. Hiya Ray, how are you doing? So we don't really do the shires. A shire for us over here is somewhere where hobbits live. That's where you find Frodo Baggins, Bilbo Baggins, and Dildo Baggins, really. But we don't do the shires. We do the shires. Like I say, Highwayman. Is that a Vulcan hand there, Ray? Is that what that is there? Is that like a live long and prosper thing, or just a hello? Yes, Ali. Yeah, it was noted before, Ali, about you trying to adopt things that aren't yours. You're not adopting Ali. He isn't wearing that one. No. Yeah, there you go. That prompted a response. He knows what's going on. Yeah, he knows what's going on there, don't you, Ali? You know what's going on. So I'm just going to assume that that's a Vulcan salute there then, Ray. Ray's the highwayman there, trying to hide. That's a Vulcan salute he's given us. I can think of different finger gestures that could be more insulting, so I'll accept that one. I'll accept that one off you. And where have you been hiding, Raymondo? He was on earlier on. Follow John's channel and Sue's channel there. So you've got Legacy Paranormal TV. So nearly swallowed my own tongue there. And Dark Phantom Paranormal. Oof, get a drink of water. I'm on the ibuprofen. I'm on the ibuprofen and paracetamol today. Woke up with a headache and still got live long and prosper, bro. Thank you very much indeed, brother. My hero. Dark Phantom Paranormal says that Legacy is her hero. If he can handle like a broken 15th metatarsical or metatentacle and not take any kind of pain relief, he's my hero too. I'm going to get his name tattooed. I don't know where yet. What's that? The smooth voice, Dave. Oh, Mr. Sore throat, Dave. I think I'll just quaff some water and sleep in a bit. A real sleep wouldn't hurt anything. No, I don't sleep at all well, which is precisely why I'm here right now doing this. Although I'm happy because it's been going for 33 minutes and I haven't had a dropout, even though I've been changing things around. The upshot of that is, of course, because it's successful, or if it is successful, that people start to see my ugly face more on streams. So there's a good bad and a bad element to it. I've been on eBay dreaming of what to buy. I shudder to think what you might have been looking at, Ray. Would you like to share it with everybody else in chat? What is it you've been looking at? I think dreaming of what to buy. I think buying things is easy if you've got the money to do it. It's buying something sensible that's a little bit more difficult. If you know what I mean. Spending money's easy anyway, isn't it? No, that doesn't take long at all, especially if you've got all the old plastic fantastic, which doesn't stretch as far as you'd like it to, does it? So what have you been getting, Ray? What have you been looking at? Come on, tell us what you've been looking at. He's not going to do it, he's shy. You're not going to do it, are you? He's shy. Just, Oh. Speaking of things to buy, you showing your missus that I wouldn't dare show her anything like that. Speaking of, I want a nice full spectrum camera. Okay, my advice, Ray, is for what it's worth, is to get an SJ4000 action camera. They're about £50 to £60 at most. Unscrew the lens, remove the filter, screw the lens back in with it attached to a laptop via an HDMI cable, and then you can refocus the lens, stick it all back together, and viola, you've got a full spectrum camera. Get yourself an infrared light and a UV light, and really you need a white light as well, don't you, really, for it to be true full spectrum. But if you just want to cheat like the rest of us do, get an infrared lamp, get a UV lamp, and play away, and then you can make videos where everybody looks purple. I want to buy a Dave. Oh, you've sort of got one in a way. I want to buy a John, so there's a more booming voice. Seriously though, Ray, that is a way to make a full spectrum camera. Or get an action cam, bring it round to me, and I'll turn it into a full spectrum camera. I've got 4, and all of them have converted myself. Because they come in handy. I do have to say though, out of full spectrum cameras, infrared cameras, and standard white light or visible light cameras, the full spectrum cameras haven't come up with as much. Not really got a lot on them, but hey ho. But I'll point you in the right way. I'll give you any kind of advice I can regarding full spectrum. Full spectrum digital stills cameras are the ways to go, and Panasonic do some of them. You might look at about £100 to £200 on one of them. Again, you know, you're going to need a light source, so you know you're going to need the I'm simple me, I just want a cabin on my land and go fishing whenever the moose strikes mood. So you're in a mood about your moose. Is that what's going on there? You're in a mood about, you should go fishing whenever the moose takes you, Lindsay. That isn't even open for discussion, that, brother. You crack on. But yes, there it is, Ray. If that's what you want to do, or you're thinking of doing that, give me a shout, and I'll open it up and break it for you. Oh dear. Oh, no, joking. But I'll certainly do it. If anything, get a decent audio recorder. If you're thinking of getting into doing some investigation of your own, and why you haven't just given me a shout in the past about that, I don't know, quite frankly, Ray. So this is a public bollocking. Every opportunity to just give me a shout. I've got a shitload of equipment, you know, no locations to go to and everything. But yeah, another thing worth getting is a decent audio recorder. Big as they are, I wouldn't argue with a moose. I know some people who wouldn't argue with a mouse. You see, a moose is a Scottish mouse, or is a mouse a Scottish moose? I don't know. And what I'll do now is he won't come back, the highwayman. He won't answer that question because he's been shouted at. I don't even know if you're up this neck of the woods anymore anyway, Ray, so maybe it might have been a good idea. Here we go. Yeah. We could pick you up from the station, though. There is pick-upage available. I've had problems with the vehicle, so, but I'm hoping to get that sorted out ASAP. Get back out on the road. I was just saying earlier about a place up the road I'm thinking of hitting. Now that it's not as dangerous, it's still somewhere you could go and die though, so that isn't ideal, is it? Still somewhere you could go and die. Wigan? What, you're in Wigan now? So, no shortage of pies then. Am I right? No shortage of pies? You used to make good pies there. I think even pies you'd like, Lindsay. Perhaps. I don't even know when you went there, to be honest with you, mate. When did that occur? When did that occur? I think I might start telling people ghost stories as well. I'm not saying go and have a bit of whiskey then try to sleep. Me thinks don't blame you at all, Lindsay. You do that. Get that whiskey into your face. Pie balm, yeah. So a pie butty or pie sandwich to anybody who might not be from this neck of the woods, or even his neck of the woods. You like a good pie. What flavour, Lindsay? And is it an English pie or an American version of a pie? Is it a paranormal pie? Or is it a hairy pie? Which one are you referring to? Which one are you going on about? When I said ghost stories before as well, I didn't necessarily mean, steeped in fact. I mean just ghost stories. 5 years now. 270 working even though I have a fault. Well, having a fault isn't any good, is it, Ray? Really? But if you're up and working, 270 are different bands in the amateur radio spectrum. For those who don't know, VHF, UHF. I like meat pie plenty. Okay, I'm pretty sure everybody in here likes a meat pie. I like a meat pie. Don't do too many meat pies though. Sorry, another drink. So I'm open to ideas for future streams. Doesn't mean I'll do them, but I'm open to suggestions. And all the boys living with you. Okay, mate, no worries. So a big change around from how things used to be. Yeah. Oh. Well, hopefully it's all good and you're getting on with things. So yeah, I might do ghost stories. I sort of thought about the idea of doing some ghost stories, and I mean ghost stories for entertainment value, where some of them are allegedly based in fact, and some of them are out and out absolute rubbish, and seeing which ones people think are rubbish and which ones are right, or rather which ones are steeped in got that little bit of basis of fact, and which ones are quite frankly, bullshit. So I gave my 20 pence worth of ideas the other night. Other than that, I have nothing. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at with it. That is where I'm at. You see, I'm not just going to keep doing this kind of thing. Eventually, I am going to start roping people into being involved. And then everybody's for it. Excuse me. Because you get lots of people lurking. And I think they're the people that should be dragged in. The lurkers. I don't know what your thoughts are on that. Bring out the lurkers. Maybe, eh? There was more than 20 pence worth of ideas actually, Lindsay. You came up with quite a few. Truth be said, didn't you, really? What about you, Ray? Eh? Why don't you come on and chat about all things weird and wonderful? Do you not fancy it? You don't fancy it? It doesn't have to be about the paranormal. It can be just about anything weird. Everybody will understand weird. It can just be about the weird, And Lindsay wants bacon. I take it you're saying that because you don't have any bacon. Because if you did, you would just be eating bacon rather than wanting it. What's this? Okay. I know Winston Lemania. Disembodied voice. Okay, so I take it, was this on your video? Did you pick this from the audio of a video camera or on an audio recorder? Take it on a video camera while you was walking around. I think any house that doesn't have bacon in it is a travesty, Lindsay, but that's just me personally. It doesn't mean it's true. Any house without bacon is a house without reason. Yes, well up for it. Well up for what, Ray? Well up for what? Investigation or coming on and getting moaned at? Or a happy mixture of both? I'm going to go with both. Don't worry, I'll make this video private later on so nobody can ever see it again. So there's only 5 people here, so you won't get judged too harshly. Yeah, well, I think most people's personal experiences are just that more fascinating than legend and rumours or urban folklore. People's own experiences are absolutely great. So the roommate's a problem for stealing the bacon. You know what to do with your roommate then? Change that situation. You've not analysed the video to see if it picked it up. So you heard it on the night, is that what you're saying? You heard a disembodied voice on the night, but you don't know if the camera audio has picked up the anomaly. That's always a big kick in the arse, that. When you know something's gone on and you're sort of almost counting on it, and then you get it back and you play it back and there's nothing there. There is nothing there. But it'd be interesting, like I say, if I'm going off what you said, I'm assuming that you and Cameron both heard it in real time. Obviously, that's what's happened, isn't it? Male voice, female voice, what was it? Can you enlighten us? I'm waiting. You see, what's up? It was during the day and light. That's the thing. A lot of people just assume, it's a sweeping statement to make, but a lot of people just assume that any kind of like activity can only happen when it's night time. Obviously, because our senses are more tuned in at night, which makes people think that, but it's not the case. It can happen any time of the day, as no doubt most people can relate to if they don't already know. But yeah, you got to analyse that video. See if it comes out, mate. See if it comes out. Yeah, what I was saying is that I think people's individual personal experiences are really interesting to listen to, rather than legendary ones or ones that you hear off TV and such a place is haunted and got activity, or the ghost of such and such walks around rattling chains, and all that's interesting in its own right. Of course it is, but personal experiences, they make up the bulk of what people call paranormal, don't they? Even spiritual enlightenment type of experiences, they all make up a big chunk of it. Female voice said something not understandable and come here. I'm going to assume that was just random, rather than you walking through Winstanley Hall and shouting out to get a response. Or maybe you did shout out to try and get a response. We had a few investigations in the past, and we've had multiple audio recorders. And say, for instance, it's a residential investigation. Audio recorders in each room, say, so, multiple audio recorders, or even on an outside invest, multiple audio recorders lying around, and not had anything. Yet, say we've had video cameras set up, might have picked up the audio and video camera. Now this can be a video camera in the same room as an audio recorder, and indeed the audio recorder being right next to the video recorder. So both mics are only a few inches away from one another, but one will pick it up and the audio recorder won't. And some of the microphones in some of the Sony, especially the earlier Sony with the mini DV cassettes and stuff, had absolutely fantastic microphones in them for picking up EVP and for picking up anomalies. That's why I laugh at the whole idea of the witching hour. Same here. Time of day means feck all. Time of day does mean nothing. If there's stuff going on, then there's stuff going on. And if you're in the right place to capture any kind of weirdness or anomaly, then you're in the right place and you will be in with a chance of getting it if it's there. And that is the truth. Another good one is yeah, I know DW. Although here it's nearly 2:30. You know, that's why you go and see a dentist, isn't it? 2:30. Yeah, that was poor, that, weren't it? Sorry about that. But hello, DW. Anyway, so where are you if it's almost 1:30 for you? Actually, because that's only an hour's difference, isn't it? There we go. Yes, just in the upper rooms in the outbuildings, and sounded as though in the room. Winston-Lee Hall itself is collapsing in on itself. Yeah, it's in a bad condition, isn't it? It's in a bad condition. Having a pipe of whiskey. What? Having a pipe of whiskey? Hang on a minute. Give these teeth back to the racehorse. Having a pipe of tobacco and a few fingers of whiskey is grand before bed. 3 a.m. the devil's hour. Yeah, that's pretty much what me and Lindsay were alluding to, that we find that to be, for the most part, complete and utter bullpoo. So, there you go. Any time of the day, and normally when you're not expecting it, which is why we don't get so much evidence. Normally when you're not expecting it. I'm actually intrigued now, DW, where the hell you are for it to be 1:30. If you're an hour behind us, then where are you? Europe? Or are you just guessing at what time it is here? You cheeky monkey. I think that's what it is. A good one for catching stuff was tape. You know, old cassettes, C90s, that kind of thing. Because of the ferrous oxide and chrome oxide tape. But not many people have them anymore, do they? And plus it's a big clunky machine to carry around. On top of which, it's even more of a bottle ache pulling the audio off, because you've got to play it back in real time. And like I said, who's got tape machines? But they're good. Probably France Cup. Oh, of course, yes. Okay, DW, got you. Yeah. Okay, so you're doing the conversion, as it were. You're doing the conversion thing. Well, that was we weren't far out. British summertime now, you see. I think that's why. Had it been British winter time? Is it? Yeah. No, I might have made that up. But had it been during the winter, it'd have been different. But yeah, tape recorders stuck, lay all over the place. They used to be fantastic, them things did, because they run out of batteries really, really quickly. And when they did, everything slowed down, even the recordings. So when you played it back, when it come to playing it back, because the recording had slowed down and picked up a real time event, it was like that. So everything sounded like a demon, even though it wasn't. It was probably a pigeon in the next room cooing. Yeah, same latitude as southern France and Oregon, and yes, it's summer. There you go. Figured as much. Oregon, fantastic. Nice there. Yeah. So there you go, Ray. You've had a public invite to get involved in doing things that would probably get you arrested. Because we do get pulled over by the police as paranormal investigators from time to time. Depending where we are and what we're up to, really. But as soon as you tell them you're a paranormal investigator, they take pity on you and let you go. Or keep you stood there for an hour and a half talking to you and asking questions and telling you about everything that's ever happened to them. Which can be pretty cool. Had a couple of residential investigations off the back of situations like that. So that's always worth doing. I've also had a bollocking off the police for doing things like that. I was the same one the other day actually about in Stocksbridge, being pulled over by the police in Stocksbridge on P-Ride Lane. The sheer amount of cars that are parked up waiting for us to turn up because they got that used to us going there. We'd been going there that regular. Cars were parked up waiting for us to arrive, and as we turned up, they opened the doors and started blasting Ghostbusters, which echoing across like the valley where the steelworks were and so on. So the police were called because of the disturbance and turned up, and as soon as they found out we were doing paranormally type stuff, they ended up staying there for God knows how long, picking our brains and whatever else. Didn't take long to pick our brains, obviously, but they did it nonetheless. So yeah, everybody heard that. He got an invite. If anybody's even remotely in this area, anybody will get an invite anyway. I better be careful about that. Actually, could be weirdos out there, like me, for instance. But yeah, anybody even remotely interested in it, that get up this neck of the woods or across to here from another country and so on and so forth. Even if you're from the deepest, darkest Democratic Republic of Congo, or whatever it is, I'm sure we'll be able to accommodate you in some way in going on an investigation, and going on a little bit of a walk. Yeah, coincidentally, DW, yeah, I've not long since finished a stream with John on Dark Phantom Paranormal, doing a stream there. I think he popped in anyway, so you may be aware of that. I sort of lose track of a lot of things. So I got tired earlier on, but had a little bit of something to eat and sort of like eyes of ding, like sort of overtired now. So not quite ready to settle yet. I take it if anybody can tell me, I'll appreciate it, whether they've heard the stream drop out or if the stream has dropped out. I'd like to think it hasn't and that everything's gone smooth. It's pretty much what this was about, just to do a test for the stream. So if anybody can type that in chat, I know people are probably tired and are bored. Probably the latter, whether the stream's dropped out. I'm hoping not. What do you think of the skull on the picture, by the way? That skull painted into them trees. That got designed for a CD cover for the band, that. They've got several different versions of it, and the black and white one looks creepiest. Well, not creepiest, but more atmospheric. What do you think about the skull? Do you think it's too obvious, made out of the trees like that? No? Artistic? Subliminal? Obvious? Shit? Which one? No report on whether the stream dropped out. Dear. Nobody? No takers? Thought you might have told me. No? Ali? No? Lindsay? No? Ray? I'm going to assume it's still gone on then. Let's have a look. Audio good. So at least the audio's still going out. Audio. I can't tell whether, until I listen back to it, whether the audio's too loud and distorting or whether it's okay. Going off the meter, it looks okay. It could be absolute arse shit. Oh yeah. No worries, Lindsay. I was just wondering whether you'd noticed whether obviously you've just been away doing your own things. I mean, while you've been here, whether the stream's dropped out or the audio's distorted or anything. Thank you, Lindsay. Just the perfectionist in me wants it to sound as good as it possibly can. even if it does mean spending money on another mic. This isn't a cheap mic that I'm using actually. I'm kind of hoping that it's got relatively good audio. It's a studio mic. So I'm kind of hoping that this oh, thanks Ray. Appreciate that. I would have thought that you might have had something to say about that, coming from an amateur radio background. That you can appreciate whether the audio's working or not. And it's done what? Right, so I've reached an hour and it hasn't dropped out. So it's looking to me like all the bugs are ironed out of this. Yeah, I think we can go with the fact that all the irons are well and truly in the fire. So we'll do that. Appreciate that. Thanks, Ray, for getting back to me on that one. Sorry if I'm not massively animated with my voice. I'm overtired, wide awake, and absolutely kerfuddled. On top of the fact I'm not quite right in the head. Not a problem with the sound at all. Thanks very much, Lindsay. Still might get another microphone though. Go for a posher one, just in case. Or I might go for multiple microphones surrounding me so you can hear bullshit in 3D. We went on John's stream earlier. I was clicking on buttons left, right and centre to pick the right audio interface to start talking, so perhaps it's not a good idea after all that. He was saying hello to me for 15 minutes before my voice come through. So maybe not such a good idea after all. Is it? Oh, so it's going okay, mate. Okay, mate, no worries, Lindsay. I understand if you want to get off and do what you've got to do. You go and chill out and relax. It's been a long day and it was a long stream before. So you do it, mate. Thanks for dropping in. Thanks for popping in and showing your support and chatting. Cheers. You take it easy. Studio quality, you say, Ray? Yeah, it should be. It's a studio mic. Well, you know, it's a Rode NT1A, I believe. Is it? I can't remember anymore. Yeah, I'm going too soon. I've got some whiskey as it happens as well. Don't really do too much of that. But I might have a little bit of a scoot around, see what's going on. Mag's done a live stream before, and obviously because we was streaming on Dark Phantom Paranormal, missed Mags's on Paranormal People. So I might go back and see how that went. Show me support, give it a like and make a comment, all that kind of thing. Yeah, Ray, when you've got time and all that, you get busy, but when you do have time and if this stream's going on and such on and the like, yeah, if you subscribe to some of the other channels, then there's plenty of entertainment if you can't go to sleep. So might be worth bearing in mind for that one. Okay, I'll wait to see if you come back with anything and then I'll get out of the way and leave everybody alone. See what you say. It's Friday today, isn't it? Or was. So I'll wait for a response from you there, Ray. Before I sort of line up some paranormal deliciousness from one of the other channels. I think she went out about 9 o'clock-ish. Why have I lost that? Where's that gone now? This is always happening, this. To John. Do you mean John Crosby? Is that what you mean, Ray? Send your subscription link to John Anthony Michaela Louise Crosby. 1 second. And I'll try and put it in here without causing too much distress, which is always going to be difficult. Right, now, there we go. Right, I should be able to do this. I've got... Right. Okay, so this is Dark Phantom Paranormal. This is where we're at tonight. So I'll send you this through, and you can click on that link. Boink. Bear with me. Bear with me. I'm absolutely winging this right now. Right, here we go. There we go, we'll have to get that. So, and John's up at 910, so he's nearly getting to 1,000 subscribers there. Okay. Right, alright, well, the two links that I've just sent you, if you say that, then fair enough. But, Dark Phantom is the first one, John's is the second one, so you might already have John's. Another one is Paranormal People. Wait there, I'll get that one up for you as well. Naked Zombie as well, another good one. Paranormal Voice, there's a few, you see. Book of Frank. Just bear with me, Ray. I'm on it. Oh, I'm on something. There we go. Yeah, there we go. But it was only an hour ago. I'm surprised you stopped. Right, okay, I'm on it. One sec. Here we go. This one is for Mags. Boink. There's another one. Yes, there's three. So that's Dark Phantom Paranormal. That's for Legacy Paranormal TV and for Paranormal People. Remember what? Sharing the love, guys. I'm sharing the love. Paranormal Voice is another one I reckon that you might like. I should imagine you will like it. So I'm going to share it because I believe in that. There you go. Boing. And let me have a think. Who else? There's a lot of them. I think I'll try and think of one more. Anybody else? Who do you think? What about well, Steve? Actually, I don't know if you're already subscribed to Steve though. Yeah, you might be. Well, I'll send it anyway. Because if you're not, then you can. And all these channels, for the most part, are fairly active. And John's been really active of late. Like I say, Dark Phantom was streaming earlier. Me and Lindsay were on there chatting with John, and that's Sue's channel. Mags was on earlier streaming as well. I think that might be it. I mean, it isn't it. There's loads of them. But what I mean is, out of them all, that I can think of sending you right now. That's it. Paranormal Nightmare, maybe. Paranormal Nightmare is definitely worth looking at. I don't even know if you can subscribe to any of these. But fuck it, I'll send them anyway. Oh, actually, they've got something going out now. Premiering now. Whatever that means. But there's a few for you, Ray. There's a few there. If you click on them, subscribe to them and show the love, that'd be absolutely phantasmagorically doodle. And there'll be plenty of stuff for you to watch there. Let me know if you've got any of them, and then we can get on with our lives and everybody do what they need to do. So I'll hang fire, see if you got it. Oh wait, Naked Zombie. How could I forget? What am I like? I'm on it. There you go. Boink. Okay, send you this one through. Yeah, no, yep. Dark Arts. You wasn't subscribed to any of them. Well, there's a big chunk of them, so I'll keep you going anymore. What about, yeah, Book of Frank as well, I would imagine. Yeah, here we go. Well, I think you should subscribe to the Book of Frank after you've subscribed to Legacy Paranormal, just in case John's listening. They got a bit of a competition going on. Only joking, subscribe. There you go, that's a few, isn't it? That's a few. Maybe order of magnitude as well. And that should be done, really, shouldn't it? There's so many, man. There's just so many of them. Right. Let me know if you sub to any of them, and then we can be done. And I'll go off and see, check out Mags's stream from earlier. You doing it? Good man. Yeah, you got to show the love, haven't you? We only finished an hour ago, roughly an hour ago, Max is. If I'd have known that, I would have jumped in on that one. Have you got them all, Ray? When you give me indication, we are finished here. For what it's worth, thanks to anybody who's tuned in and listened to all this drivel over the last hour. Appreciated. I'm not sure this video will stay on the playlist, as it were. But thanks to anybody who jumped in. Appreciated. Are you winning, Ray? Is that all of them? Have you subbed to them all now? Ah, that's where Louise went. Self-inflicted headache. Yeah, no good. Alright, mate, you get yourself off to bed. And thanks for jumping in and showing your face. And showing your support. Thanks to anybody else who jumped in on this weirdness that wasn't even supposed to be anything, but ended up being something, as they always seem to do. Appreciated. Thanks for jumping in, John, Steve, Gillian, Shrimp, Ali, and obviously you, Ray, Lindsay. Have a look back through chat. I'd like to say thank you to everybody for possibly can. I've already got you, Ray. Sue at Dark Phantom Paranormal as well. Actually, if I can... Where is it? Let me get your name again, actually. Here we go. There you go. So thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate that. And take it easy. I'm out of here. And I'll be keeping an eye open for other people streaming. Everybody be good. Bye-bye.